Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering apps to help you write a book. There are lots of great apps and tools out there, and understanding how you use them can make the writing process that much easier. By the end of the video, you will learn some of my favorite programs and AI tools to use in book writing. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a resource that I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. When thinking about book writing, one program, one app stands above all the others, and it's Microsoft Word. I know, you might not like Microsoft Word, but in terms of the publishing process, in terms of working with editors, in terms of collaborating back and forth through documents, Microsoft Word is the proven, chosen choice book professionals. So even if you end up writing the book in another program, you're probably going to have to end up putting it into Microsoft Word as you move forward in the publishing process, as you move from manuscript to publication. Microsoft Word has a lot of great features and tools. Track changes is very popular. It helps too with document confusion. You can actually date and name different versions of the manuscript different ways in order to ensure that you don't confuse one document with the other when you're working with other people. Look, Microsoft Word is a pain sometimes. It has formatting problems. It's not ideal at all cases, but all in all, it's pretty good. All in all, it's pretty simple, straightforward. You open a document, you start writing, and you go from there. So it's a simple choice. It's basic, and basic's not always bad. Basic helps get a lot of books published. So I would say Microsoft Word is the go-to program. If you're working with a book, if you're working with the manuscript, Microsoft Word is the go-to choice. Google Docs is also popular, and I've used Google Docs quite a bit when I'm working with an author as a ghostwriter and collaborating back and forth. The great thing about Google Docs is that you can edit and you can make changes in real time. You can monitor progress back and forth. It's easier to work on if you're working intently back and forth. Instead of going through emails and Microsoft Word documents, you can simply have the document and you can change it in real time, update it in real time. I know Microsoft Word has some tools to be able to do that as well, but I feel like it's just an easier process with Google Docs. It's easier to see the version history. I love doing that. If someone makes a change, I can actually go back and see what they changed. It's helpful because sometimes you end up making changes that you want to end up reverting back to and keeping. So, keeping a close focus on what is actually changing and who's changing what can be beneficial when working with Google Docs. But if you're working on a collaborative project and multiple people are making changes all at once, Google Docs is a really good program to use. One thing to keep in mind, however, is, again, you have to export it from Google Docs to Microsoft Word as you end up moving to the publishing phase or the editing phase. And that can be glitchy, and there can be formatting issues that pop up in Microsoft Word because of the fact that you're working with Google Docs. So you might have to strip some of the formatting out of the document as you incorporate it into Microsoft Word. It's not as easy. It can be a pain, but it can be done. Scrivener is another program that's popular for book writers, and it's a great way to see all of the progress at once, to see all of the elements, the chapters at play, and to have it all in the same interface. When you're working with Google Docs, for example, you could have a folder devoted specifically to your writing, but you're only seeing one document at a time. And with Scrivener, you can actually click, and pull up different chapters or pieces of text right away. It's great to have all of your elements in the same place and easy to see in one interface. So Scrivener has a lot of upside. It can also be overwhelming. I've worked with authors who got overwhelmed by seeing so much. You get easily distracted when you're pulled into this chapter. Now I'm into this chapter and this chapter. It can be helpful sometimes to put the blinders on when you're working on your draft. So there's upside and downside to Scrivener. I see a lot of upside. It's great to have that visual display, but ultimately, again, eventually you're going to have to get it into one document. And Scrivener can be great but challenging. So it really depends on your approach to the writing process. I find myself that it's easier to just focus on the matter at hand, and I can take care of documents at other points and other chapters. But it's a lot. It can be overwhelming to just see all of it at the same time. So Pick and choose. I mean, figure out what works best for you, but if you aren't thrown off by having that interface with all of your files and documents and text in the same place, then Scrivener could be a great option. Obviously, there's so much focus on AI these days and how artificial intelligence is changing the world, and it's changed book writing as well. There's so many different options to choose from that can make the process of writing a book that much easier. You look at programs like Adhere and Rev that can work on audio transcription, automatic audio transcription, and it's fascinating to see how quickly these programs can turn around an audio recording into text that you can then turn into chapters. So that's a great resource. For ideas, ChatGPT is a great option. For summarizing, Notebook LM. It's awesome to see all of these great tools. Grammarly is another one. Grammarly is a great tool for grammar, punctuation, style, plagiarism checks, all these sorts of things. It's great to be able to use these tools to your disposal. But the key to all these tools, whether programs, apps, or AI, is making sure that they're helping you, making sure that they're making you better in the process and not just keeping you busy with other things. It can be so easy to get stuck on the latest great thing, thinking it's going to write the book for you when it's not. The greatest, latest tool that's going to make this process easier, but maybe it won't. Sometimes simple is better. Sometimes focusing on the basic needs is more important than the frills and excitement and enthusiasm. So be really mindful. When you think about the tools that you need, be very mindful about what can help you and what's going to distract you. Because the worst thing you could do is spend all this time focusing on a tool and you're just falling further and further behind on the writing because you're spending all this time on this tool. It's not really helping you. So be sure to think about how these tools are helping you and make decisions based on those tools that are going to help you write the book in the most efficient way possible. There are so many awesome tools to choose from, but no one app and no one AI tool is going to help you write your book all by itself. You really need the skill set and the understanding and the perspective to be able to carry forward with clarity and purpose. That's why I strongly recommend that you check out the next video. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called Help Me Write My First Book. In that video, I cover your book goals, choosing the right topic, and just give you some insights and perspectives, and hopefully arm you with some helpful, meaningful writing tips, and provide you with some of my most valuable writing tips. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.